For those of you who don't know, I'm Lisa Benson, the founder of Deball Designs, and today I'm super excited to guide you through the world of SEO. It's kind of a game changer for your online visibility. If you didn't know, SEO is search engine optimization. It's your kind of secret weapon for your website in the digital world. It's all about fine-tuning your website to not just appear on the search engines, but dominate them. We kind of want to be that front page. Why does that matter? The higher you rank in the search engines like Google, it's like shining a spotlight on your business. You want to make sure that you are discoverable. Most people don't make it past page 2. So we want to make sure that we are on page 1 or early on page 2 so that we can get seen and heard in the digital noise of it all. It's kind of like your virtual billboard, if you want to say. You want to make sure you're not the one right behind the Buc-ee's. If you're here in Texas, you understand what I mean. All the way up and down 35, it's every stop. So remember that in today's world, an online presence is a non-negotiable. I don't care whether you have a Facebook page, a website, a landing page, something like that. It's non-negotiable. You need to be able to be seen and heard. And most people aren't doing word of mouth for business. It's going to help get people's foot in the door, word of mouth will, but it won't get you the close you need because they need to know you're a subject matter expert. It's time to dig in. Let's talk about understanding the fundamentals of SEO. SEO is all about optimizing your website to rank higher. Simplification. When you rank higher, the more people find your website, which means more clients or more potential customers. Keyword research and optimization. When you're developing your website, your keywords are essential. This is going to be part of the copy. This is going to be part of everything that we do in order to make those words synonymous with you. It's just as important to put positive and influential keywords out there, but we also want to make sure that we do long tail keywords and things like that that are specific for your brand and specific for you. There's some other ways that people are doing some SEO as far as keywords are concerned. There's a new thing out about table of contents. There's some special people that do a lot of information on that online. SEO is part of what I do, but it's not the bulk of what I do. I just wanted to make this part of what we do in our conversations here on the lives because I think it's really essential for moving forward. So back to this. We're going to talk about keyword optimizations. Imagine your website's kind of the treasure map and the keywords are the clues. So we want to make sure your audience goes straight to the treasure chest. And the keywords are the cookies that get them there. Some experts, there's some strategies. Sorry, my brain is 9 different directions at once. There's some strategies about finding the perfect keywords, aligning and you need to, because you need to find what your clients are looking for, your ideal customer. What is it that they're searching online? Because if we want to use something like, because we know my Deball came from roller derby. If I'm looking roller derby near me, I'm going to write in roller derby leagues near me, how to play roller derby near me, roller derby games, matches, etc. near me. So we want to make sure that we're using that language in our website so that we make sure that we're talking to the ideal people and we're able to create the cookies to get them to where we need them to be. So when looking at that, we look at them like golden nuggets is kind of what I wrote in my text. And I want to make sure I said that it's the golden nuggets. They're constantly looking and we're giving them the next, ooh, there's a cookie. Ooh, there's a cookie. That kind of mindset. Or ooh, piece of candy for those of you who used to watch Family Guy. Keyword research is the cornerstone to everything that you're doing. So you want to make sure that when you're developing your website that you talk with your designer or as you're developing your own and you use essential tools like I use SEMrush, SpyFu, and some of those like that. So I can, 1, look at my competitors and what they're doing, but 2, look at how I can stand out in the landscape against them and get me more visibility. So one of the measures for getting more visibility is on-page SEO. On-page SEO is the creating something that's user-friendly or search-friendly. And that's search engine friendly for the website crawlers to crawl, but also for the clients to look or potential clients to look. It's about creating high quality content, relevant content that generally serves your audience. And it's going to be as easy as making sure that the content's on point. Is it something that your ideal client's going to read? It could be fun. It could be a storytelling. It could be a conversational piece. It could be anything, but it needs to be something that they will want to read. And while you're developing it, you want to make sure you have important things like titles, meta descriptions, headers, and so on, so that you can actually guide your ideal people to your page using those cookies that we talked about, or your golden nuggets. Your off-page SEO tactics. There's some parts about reputation building, and that's important in your digital presence. So you can create some off-page with your social media, and you can do that on Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. We don't even have to go into all those pages, but it's about developing you and your website as an authority and as a credible space for people to get good, solid information. So you're going to see a lot of things online where people are talking about how they're using AI to generate websites in a day, or which they can do well if they understand how to tailor AI so that it uses a human's voice. But so often when we look at things, the human's taken out of it. And we want to make sure that we keep the humanity, your voice, and your part in it. But you can use AI to help you. You just need to make sure that you don't sound robotic and like everyone else in the world. So the other way to do some of this is through backlinking. There's some websites that'll help you backlink. We need to make sure that when you're doing that, if you're going to have somebody help you do backlinking, ask them if they what kind of techniques they use. If you have any questions about that, please let me know, because there's black hat techniques and white hat techniques, and we want to make sure that we're using smart, strong ways to do it so that you're not actually putting yourself backwards as far as becoming a credible authority. There's other ways of creating backlinks with influencers. I know that influencer marketing is kind of a big buzzword right now, but they are really helpful at getting eyes on your content. A lot of times that tends to be items or platforms kind of thing. I mean, the rise of this was with Instagram, but it truly went through the roof with TikTok. Then we also have, Pinterest is a solid gold mine of a lot of things that's underrated. So there's another way to do some marketing stuff. So there's a lot of great ways that can help amplify your reach and credibility. And anytime you can get somebody to help you and become user-generated content, if you see anything about USG, that's UGS, user-generated content, UGC. Blonde moment. So UGC, user-generated content, is super essential to create. It fast tracks your credibility, because that's somebody saying that they're putting their reputation on the line to talk about the items that you're creating. This is beyond like the typical testimonial. This is them actually either using your product or actually going into depth about the benefits of your product. We're not talking features. We're talking about what the outcome is they get from your product or your service. So then there's things like technical SEO, which may sound super complex, and it's a crucial part of the SEO puzzle. But it's the engine. If you look at it like a car, it's the engine under the hood that powers your website's performance. It's going to look at things like site speed, if you're mobile friendly, and the importance of having the secure website. So that's that HTTPS. I'm sure that you guys all see it when you're searching. Sometimes it's an HTTP site and it'll say this is not secure. That means that they haven't made their site up, or they haven't updated their site, and we need to make sure they update it. And when you look at the site speed and things like that, we want to make sure that the site is operating at the optimum. Most people are looking at social media, or they're looking at all of the stuff through their phones. So you want to make sure that your site is mobile friendly. The more mobile friendly it can be is most essential. When you're developing your landing pages of any sort, yes, you can have a contact us in your menu, which will put in the hamburger menu on mobile. But you also want to make sure that it is available without being in your in that menu, because not everybody knows the hamburger menu's there. So make sure you have some call to actions throughout your page that's going to drive the audience to do the actions that you want them to take. So let's talk SEO, local SEO, and for local businesses. Local businesses they're so awesome. I mean, they are the backbone of everything we do. And if this is something you have, we want to make sure we tailor the data just for you. We're going to see why it's a game changing, serving communities, etc. We need to start with Google My Business, and that doesn't even have anything to do with your website, but it's going to start generating some traffic to your website. Because if somebody's looking for a local business, local tires, local roller derby, they're going to be looking at the Google My Business, and that's what's getting you seen and heard. That's what's going to map you out on Google. So we want to make sure that we claim those spaces and own those spaces, and make sure that we're using the SEO that we've developed for our website in those services as well. We want to make sure that we are using the same language across the board, but curtailing it. I think that's right there, but tailoring it to the ideal audience for that platform. So I'm going to talk to people on Instagram different than I'm going to talk to them on Facebook, different than I'm going to talk to them on LinkedIn, and different than I'm going to talk to them on Google My Business. I'm going to look at what part of my audience is on each one of those platforms. And I know there's more platforms than those, but that's just the most simple. So when we're talking to each of these, we want to make sure that we're dialing in and tailoring the content for those so that we can generate the action we want. But as a whole, those keywords are going to be the same, if not similar, so that we can drive the traffic eventually to our own page. Ooh, we're running out of time. I know it's a self-proposed time, but I don't want to keep us there for more than 15 minutes. So in keeping that said, we're going to talk about the SEO on social media is the same. We want to make sure that our bios are keyword optimized. Those keywords are similar to the ones on our website, if not the same that are on our website, so that when I look up roller derby Austin, I know there's 5 leagues in the area, but the ones that are getting the most amount of traffic and have the most amount of beef behind their SEO are going to rise to the top. So it's important for us to keep our content updated and constantly not vary it up, but research it and make sure it still has the impact we have and update it. We're going to do a little bit more into SEO. I'll probably get an SEO expert or two on with us one day so that we can make sure that we're getting the latest and greatest of the content that's going to be coming out. So I don't want to get too far into that because we're going to bring somebody else on. I guess I'm going to wrap it up. I know that was just a lot of information at you. The biggest thing is make sure that you are displaying your brand in the best way possible, displaying your business in the best way possible. You're keeping yourself ahead on the current trends. Your keywords are where they need to be so that you can make the impact that you want to make. You don't want to have vanilla words if you want to have a big impact. You want to be impactful, but you also want to make sure they're your words. SEO or AI is great, but we want to make sure that we are hitting the mark and talking to the audience in a human's voice and not in AI's voice. So we want to remember that SEO is not a destination, it's a journey. You have to keep learning and you have to keep applying strategies consistently. There is going to be some change. There's always going to be some change to how the crawlers crawl the websites and things like that. So you need to make sure that you're staying on top of that, or that you've hired somebody that can do that to stay on top of it. Your online presence and your visibility will grow, and you'll be better equipped to succeed in the ever-evolving landscape of search engine optimization, or SEO, if you continually try to learn, continually try to stay on top of it, or continually have somebody in your corner that can do that work for you. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have the best Wednesday ever and have